let's let's move on to another widely accepted author level metric, which is H index. This index was developed by George E. Hirsch, a mathematician, in the year 2005 to measure the impact of an author's research. Let me take example of two authors. Here I am presenting, let's say both the authors have published 7 papers each, 7 articles each. And if I simply enter the number of articles here, both have published 7 articles. The total number of citations earned by author A for 7 publications is 58, and that of B is 128. Now let's calculate average citations per publication. Average citations per publication is simply the total number of citations earned divided by the total number of articles published. So 8.28, you may say roughly it is 8. So this author has earned on an average 8 citations per article. So this can be done for author B also. As you may notice here, author B has 18 citations per article. Now this was the earliest metric that was adopted by scientists, adopted by authors to measure the impact of the research of an author. But this has a flaw. As you may notice in author B's list, he has got 100 citations for one of the articles and very less number of citations for other articles. Even then, on an average, he has got 18 citations. So can we say, based on ACPP, average citations per publication, that author B is more impactful than author A? This was the question posed by many scientists. So average citations per publication is an unscientific way of measuring the research impact of an author. Therefore, Hirsch devised a measure not only to average the citations, but also to measure the consistency of an author in receiving citations for each of his or her publication. So H index is a measure of the consistency in receiving citations. I can also compare H index to the batting average in cricket. So who is more consistent batsman? Okay, is measured by the batting average. So let's learn how to manually find out the H index of an author. In order to find out the H index of an author, you have to arrange the number of citations for all the articles in the descending order. So let's do it for author A. I'm going to select this range. I'm going to select this range, and I will be sorting this in the descending order. So I'll sort only that selection to demonstrate only for author A. After sorting the number of citations in descending order, you have to assign ranks to each article. Though coincidentally, I had given here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It was only a simple list. Now, I have to assign rank to these articles based on the number of citations. So it is already there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, to go on comparing the rank of the article with the number of citations. So let's say article number 1 the number of citations received is 20. Article number 2, it is 12. 3, 8, 4, 6. And article number 5, the number of citations is 5. So wherever you find that the rank number and the number of citations coincide, that is considered the H index of that particular author. So in this case, the H index of author A is 5. So I can write it here. Okay, let's do the same thing for author B. I'm going to sort this in descending order. And here we get descending order. So a simple technique is article number 1, whether the citation is 1 or more. If it is 1 or more, if it is more, then continue. 2, if it is article number 2, look for 2 citations. If it is higher, move down to the next. Article number 3, 3. So the ranked number of article and the number of citations meet at a particular point. And that number of citations is the H index of the author. Now, will you be in a position to tell me what is the H index of author B?
4.
Yes, somebody answered it, 4. For instance, I'll move down here because 6 is greater than 3. I will move down 4 and here I have 4. Okay. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Suppose let me make a change here. Suppose this was not 4, this was 5. Okay. Can you please tell me what is the H index of author B now?
3.
How? How? Okay. Now let me answer. One article, if an author has published one article, whatever is the number of citations earned for one article, H index remains 1. Okay. If an author has published two articles, please see the ranked number, that is number 2, and see the number of citations for that particular article. If it is 2 or less, H index will be that number. I hope you are able to understand.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now going by that logic, article number 3 has 6 citations. That means 3. This is greater than 3. Let me put 3 here. If it is one article, there must be at least 1 citation. If it is 2 articles, there must be at least 2 citations for both the articles to make H index 2. Are you able to get me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So even if I make this figure, earlier it was 4, even if I make it 5, then H index will remain 4. H index will remain 4. 4 articles. Now this is cumulative. How many articles I have selected? 4 articles. All these articles have 4 citations each?
Yes.
If that is the case, H index of this author is 4.
4.
Of course, to make the example simpler, I had put 4 here. So 4th article, not just 4th article, you must see the earlier articles also. Okay, whether all of them have 4 citations at least. So the H index of author B is 4. So H index is a dual measure of productivity, which means the number of articles published, measure of impact, meaning the number of citations received for each article. This means that if an author gets very high number of citations, lesser number of articles, his or her H index will not inflate, will not become more. So in order to get higher H index, an author has to publish more number of articles, and for each article published, he or she has to get more number of citations. Therefore, H index has an important place in the scholarly world. It is so important that prediction on future Nobel Prize winners in various fields are made even based on H index. So this is H index. H index can also be figured out graphically. Let me just show you one with one author. I'll just select these two and I'll go to insert, and I can go to any graph, scatter with lines and markers. Here I get a curve. Now I have to add X and Y values. As you can notice, 1, 2, 4, 6, 8 is there. So I'll just make a copy of this here. I'll make another copy. Okay, so I'll right click on the inserted graph and I'll go to select data, and here I have got legend entries. I can simply click add, and here I have got series X values. I need the same values 1 to 7 for series X and series Y. So I'll choose 1 to 7, and for series Y values I'll remove the value that is already there. I'll take this one. I click OK, and I click OK for this. And the point at which these two meet is the H index of an author. I'll just go to data labels. Let me just enable data labels. Yeah, okay. So you may notice here that both the series are meeting here, 5, 5. Therefore, the H index of author A is 5. So this is a graphical method for finding out the H index of an author. It's not that difficult finding out H index, provided you have the list of articles and the number of citations earned thereon. This is about H index, which is, I can say, the most important author level metric which is available as of today.